Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with here game number 2 between Blood and Cookies here at the Power Overwhelming 4 Local Battles Land. I am Wendy, and with me today I have the wonderful Eric DeRed from Rutgers CSL team. Game number 1, going to your teammate Cookies, man. How are you feeling about that?
I'm always happy to see Cookies, win a game, obviously, but I think he actually played really well there. He did a nice little timing. He followed it up with a +1 timing, and never actually let the Protoss know if he was going to be all-inning or macroing up.
Yeah, it's nice to see that nice balance between style. It's hard to be aggressive and play macro at the same time, but I turned to QXC for a quote of his. It's like, if you're not attacking, you're probably losing.
Yeah.
And that's something that's always really stuck with me since the early days of the beta.
Especially for Terran, obviously.
Especially for Terran.
I mean, for the Protoss, that was actually the mistake that he made, was constantly attacking when he was in a position where he could actually have turtled. But, I mean, again, it's so hard to know in that position if you should make something happen or if you're actually behind an economy. But, I don't know, we'll just see. This game might play out totally different. We'll see if Cookies decides to gasless expand again. I know he is also fond of a lot of these 1-1-1 builds.
Tim Valley, probably not the best map to do it, though. It's a rather large map.
Especially not cross spawns.
Yeah, and in these spawn positions, of course, players are asking which it is, and this is the MLG version, so I believe it is only vertical and cross, no horizontal spawns allowed, and that's just because if you look at it this way, you can pretty much see each third base on one screen.
Yeah,
and that's too close if you ask me.
And again, it's like you have to always be like, oh, well, is he going to... You can't really just leave something at the tower. You can either go around by the tower or rush by, behind the other by the third.
The watchtower is kind of rendered useless. It's almost like an entrance of the map where watchtower is located here and then subsequently here. I think that would be a little bit more of an interesting map, much more for controlling that fourth base. But
absolutely.
I don't disagree with the single watchtower in the middle. It's not a bad idea.
Not for this kind of spawns, though.
No, not at all. It's very, very crucial because if you have to ever engage, you can see now that Cookie's going to go ahead and scout to the horizontal position.
Yeah, they actually did see each other there for a brief moment. So, actually, Blood is hiding something back there.
Ooh, what is he up to here? Is he?
I think he might know that Cookies is... I don't know. They know they're cross, obviously. So,
yeah, maybe it's just an error, and he didn't mean to. Yeah, it looks like he didn't mean to rally there. You can look at the rally, and he's those rocks always mess up the AI.
I'm definitely guilty of doing that before.
I think it's happened to us all, man. Blood getting down his cybernetics core, third Palin going down, Zealot on the way. Looks like he's opted for that Zealot once again, and I think it's a really strong choice.
Quite safe. And
if Terran decides to be a little greedy and not get the bunker until he gets his 2 additional barracks or whatever it may be, or delay the bunker for any amount of time.
If they were to go to some sort of proxy 2 racks or something, having that Zealot would help immensely.
Oh yeah, so it's a very safe way, and you have the money for it, and it delays your Nexus by I think a total of 12 seconds, something very, very minimal.
In many cases, you can make something happen with that Zealot too. If their bunker is just not timed out perfectly right, or even if it is, you can sometimes sneak by, which is always fun.
Yeah, you can see now Factory has gone down. The reactor going onto that barrack, so it will be some kind of 1-1-1 play.
Yeah.
Question is it going to be Banshee into expand? And
he only has one guy in that second gas, so I don't know if he'll be getting cloak, but actually, no. Now throwing in some more guys.
Okay, maybe there's a little bit of an error. There are some 1-1-1 openings which require only 2 workers in gas, which are actually quite interesting because of what they can do. But Starport going down, you can see a tech lab on that factory. So will be a Banshee opening. Given that gas timing, probably not going to be cloak. I'd be surprised if there was.
I think the gas would be much faster if there was going to be cloak, but just a standard 1-on-1 nonetheless is always going to be very strong, and it's really going to. It's going to come down to if Blood can scout that in time and if he's going to react in time. You really just need to be very aware and conscious of wherever the army is, getting a flank. It's all going to add up, and we'll see what Blood can accomplish here against this kind of a build.
Yep, so Benji's on the way. It looks like a second factory onto the tech lab, so this is probably going to be a 1-base all-in out of Cookies here. I think a strong follow-up to after going 1-0 up against your opponent. You probably test them as like, okay, I could take him a macro game. Let's take game 2 down with a 1-1-1. Try that out in the tournament.
I mean, testing the waters a little bit now, seeing if he can get away with it. It's definitely not a bad idea.
Yeah, Blood going for 3-gate Robo, though. Probably the safest 1-base build you can do at Protoss and still have room to expand. Probably not the most effective in terms of economy.
Now the question is he going to go? I mean, of course he'll probably go Observer first, but if he gets there and sees, there's maybe 1-1-1, I think by this point, seeing that bunker here needs to get a second Observer before you can make Immortals, because you don't know if there's no cloak coming.
Yeah, that's always a big threat, and especially off of 1 base. I mean, that's the beauty of Terran, being able to wall off like that and hide so much information from the Protoss player.
Yeah.
Even Zergs for a significant amount of times. Like, yes, Zergs have Overlords, But you sacrifice them, they're gone once they're dead, and it takes a long, long time to get them over there. Banshee now going to circumvent that Watchtower. Very, very careful out of Cookies. We'll try to get it over there. Nexus going down for Blood as well. It's kind
of pretty late Nexus, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did open 3-gate Robo. So.
Honestly, I think that against the 1-1-1, though, having the Nexus before adding the extra infrastructure is going to be more advantageous simply because you actually don't need that many units early. You only need those units later on when the push actually comes.
Yeah, that one Nexus expand is pretty much the unanimous decision to do against a 1-1-1. How do you deal with it? 1-gate expand.
But it's impossible to know. It could have just been something like a Marine tank, which would have hit much faster. So
yeah, there's some very, very potent Marine tank timings out there with Combat Shield and Siege, and they hit about like 6 minutes 30 seconds. And if you don't have a Immortal out, you're very, very difficult to deal with. Banshee not able to do much, not picking up a single kill. Stalkers in the main were able to deal with it. Cookie's probably a little surprised that his opponent went for a 3-gate Robo.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Protoss is again getting a little bit starved for enough money to build stuff. This is all due to his later Nexus and building those gateways first. Not actually able to utilize them fully right now, but actually getting that first Immortal. So I think that's a good move here. He needs to get his Immortal count, maybe get 2 to 3 of them even. And I think they're going to be most effective. If he can pull off some kind of flank against this, it'll be really, really good. But if he just clumps everything up, there's going to be a ton of Marines here. Actually, one of those barracks is reactored, and another one naked. So this is actually more Marines than with a usual 1-1-1.
Yeah, this is a very, very intense push coming out of Cookies. Mind you, there's no stim or combat shield with this. So these Marines are quite squishy. Colossi
so many units,
on the way as well.
Okay, good. This is actually perfect for Blood. He needs to if he can chrono out with one Colossus with even without range.
Deal with the Marines so effective.
But will it be out in time? I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit too late. Everything just a little bit late now for Blood, all because of that 3-gate Robo expand. It just slows down all of your later tech.
Yeah, even a 1-gate Robo expand probably would have been the safest option and the most in terms of what Cookie's doing, the best play. You can see that Siege Mode is about halfway done. This is what the Terrans do for those guys who don't know out there. They save to get the Siege Mode. They want to get out the units sooner. Siege Mode they can build while you trek across the map instead of positioning. Blood very, very smart on the low ground there.
But he's going to get spotted here. This is terrible for the Protoss player. Getting your flank spotted like that is absolutely not what you want to have happen. You're going to lose all these units for practically free, not even having the siege, and that's going to be GG. Blood losing this series 0-2 versus
Cookies. Will advance. Don't forget, Blood is not out.
No,
he will drop down the losers bracket, and we'll be right back with another match for you guys, so stay tuned. While you are here, make sure you check out Eric at Twitter, which is at EricTheRedTV.
And with a K, by the way.
With Eric with a K. I forgot about that. And you can check me out on Twitter at AltWitty. And don't forget, please check out at Local Battles, located in Fort Lee, New Jersey. A bunch of wonderful guys here working for us today. Taking care of us. We got Murray, our producer. He is fantastic. I've never had a producer before, but I have to say I am.
So nice.
I feel enlightened. We have Sam running the event, so thank you to those guys and everybody else that came Local Battles today. So we'll be back with match number 2. Just hang tight.